What's going on, guys, and welcome to the YouTube channel where I talk to you for a long period of time about the same subject. It's been a long time since I've talked to the camera. Normally when I talk to a camera, I'm live streaming and I get to interact with you guys in real time. So this is a little awkward for me. So bear with me on that. So the reason why I'm doing YouTube videos now is that you guys are in my DMs with questions, you guys leaving questions under my videos, but I just don't have the time to answer every single question, especially if it's been answered before. So what happens is that you guys ask me a question, but it's not related to the video. So sometimes you'll be like, how do I pack cards under a recap video? There's a lot of these different subjects that I can't touch on in a 3-minute window. These future videos, they're going to be very topic specific, and I'm going to try to go in order that makes sense for somebody that's starting a business from scratch. So that's just kind of talking about why I'm doing this versus making all these smaller videos on Instagram. But the concept is the same. I'm probably not going to answer a bunch of questions that aren't related to this video specifically that might be touched on in a video at a later time. I might say this is going to be in a video later, da 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 da. So if you guys are coming from Instagram or TikTok, you know that in the month of April, I did over $18,000 in sales. I don't know if I'm going to break that anytime soon. In the month of May, which just ended, I did $16,700 in sales. Where the business is at is kind of crazy. I think in the month of March, I was doing $8,000 in sales, and then next month I did $18,000. Now that's going to be on a separate video of how that happened. I'm not going to talk about it here because I am just strictly going to talk about the month of May. Let's get started with my recap video of May and how we did $16,700 in sales. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my eBay report. I'll show it on the screen. I'm going to make myself little so we can look at it together. We have total sales here of $14,125.83. Okay, that includes taxes. Take this, $14,125.83. You subtract the taxes and fees that are collected by eBay themselves, which was $899.17. And then you have my selling cost, which includes the shipping I pay to eBay. Okay, so that means those are all my labels that I have bought, as well as any ad fees I've paid, transaction fees, and we can look down here. So here's some selling cost. We have my eBay fees. We have final value fees, ad fees. I paid $323 in ads this month. International fees, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the total selling cost is $3,263.25. So that's the total selling cost I have spent this past month. This is my net sales. So that is my gross profit. $9,963.41 is my gross profit from eBay. That is before any inventory costs. That is before any material costs. We sold 2,575 cards this month with an average of $5.49. And we had a 9% raise in repeated buyers, even though we had 10% less buyers from last month. So that's good. We want to see those repeated buyers. Those are the people that consistently keep buying. And yeah, that's really it for eBay. Let's move on. So I also vended this month. I'll post some pictures on the screen here. And I also made some private sales through friends, whatever the case may be. So we did a total of $2,000.52. Again, that's locally and private outside of the eBay site or TCG, whatever. Back to the computer, let's go to Etsy. Actually, on Etsy, I'll just post a screenshot. So Etsy's super easy. I did $165.17 in sales. I had some fees that cost $48.99, and marketing, I did $15.05, which I did $101.13 as a net profit. Next is TCG Player. So on TCG Player, we did 72 orders for the month of May, and $249.95 was my net sales. And after the platform fees, it was $195.27 for my net profit. This one's a little different than eBay because I don't do shipping labels through TCG Player. I actually do stamps, and I get stamps really cheap. I don't really have shipping costs when it comes to TCG. I actually bulk that together with my material costs since they're stamps, they're physical things. So next is Amazon, my Amazon affiliate. We did $77.73. Easy peasy on Amazon. And then Shipping Shield, we did $30.27. That is my total revenue, total sales, whatever you want to call it, $16,700. $16,700 and actually, hold on, $16,700.95 actually was my total sales. Now that we have a gross profit of $12,419.81, that sounds a lot, but I do reinvest heavy into the business. So we actually only bought a total of 8 collections this month, which ended up being $8,455. And one of them is a consistent seller. And of the $8,455, $7,860 went to this one individual. Having these relationships with people where they're constantly selling to you eliminates this research factor that comes in, which will be touched on in another video. So for material cost of what I pay, whether that be team bags, penny sleeves, top loaders, stamps, etc., I also bought a new scanner for my business, but it was used. I went with the one and only Ricoh 8170. It's a life changer. I've been hesitant to buy it, but it's a life changer. However, that ran me $595. Between all my material costs plus the new scanner I just purchased for the business, that was $815.91. That leads me to $3,148.90. That's what I have left for the month of May. Again, I have a lot of running totals from the month before. Just like I said in my Instagram video, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what I put away for taxes, but another expense you have to look at, which is interesting because it's not an expense you need to worry about right now. It's an expense you need to worry about later, but you need to prepare, is taxes. You need to do your research in your state, which you need to set aside. Okay, so I will always end here with my dollar amount. However, I also set aside taxes. I'm really bad at ending videos, so I guess I'll see you on the next one. Peace.